Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing good this evening. Well, today I'm going to be planting zucchini, and in my clay soil, the recommended way to do it of putting it in hills, it just doesn't work. And so I tried this method last year and it actually worked really good. And so I'm going to share it with you today. I'm going to show you everything that I did last year. Got great yields, and then at the end I'm going to show, if you're a beginning gardener, a couple of tips so you're going to get bigger plants, which mean more fruit. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so if you've ever tried to do like a hill method in clay soil, you realize once you till it up, it don't look too bad, but then after it rains on it, it gets just real hard. And water isn't going to get through there. And I've tried all different kinds of things, and it does not work. So here's what I'm doing now. All right, so I tilled this up the other day, and now I'm going to add my amendments to it. Now, what makes this work, why this is successful, is because it doesn't matter if it's a pumpkin, a zucchini, whatever, all the squashes, they all have basically the same root system. Now, I do a variation of this with my pumpkins, but because I wasn't quite for sure where I was going to plant my zucchini, I have to do kind of a variation of that now, so that way I get all my amendments and everything in. So what I'm using is aged pig manure. Now, when I say aged, I mean 4 months or more. And this is probably closer to 6 months. It really looks good. It's broke down. And pig manure is great because it has all 13 of the essential nutrients that a plant needs. You could also use any type of aged manure, but compost, something like that. Now, the great thing about this is you can buy a fertilizer in a jug, we'll say, but this is going to, the microbes and the bacteria, you're feeding your soil. The worms are going to come in here. You're improving your soil while you're fertilizing your plant. So an organic, that is really, to me, the way to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to till this in. And I want to get it broke down really good, get it mixed in with the soil really good. So that's the next step. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I plant these, because there's a certain way I do it. Okay, so I'll go over this 2 or 3 times, from each direction. I really just want this broke down really well. And so because a pumpkin or a zucchini, anything like that, it has a taproot to it, but it has fibrous roots too. And so I'm going to plant this right in the center, where I'm going to give them roots the most room I can to spread out. And let me show you what I'm going to do here to help with that taproot. So I'm just going to dig a hole, and any of this hard clay, I just get it out of there. Okay, so I've got a hole here that's probably 8 inches deep, and I'm going to use another amendment down here, and this is going to help that taproot. It's going to give your plant a real good jolt to get it up and get it going. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what I have here is just a little bit of rabbit manure and alfalfa pellets. They haven't been steeped, but it's a cold manure. Rabbit manure is very safe to use immediately as soon as it comes out, so you're not going to hurt your plant. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put that in there, and you could use just you know, rabbit pellets like you would feed a rabbit. You don't have to have rabbit manure. They're both a very balanced fertilizer, because you want that nitrogen at the start, and that's what's going to make your plant big and green and grow. But then it also has phosphorus and potassium, which aids when you start setting fruit. But I don't want my roots to touch this immediately. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cover that up. Now, I do not, hold on just a second. I don't want to plant this real deep like I would a tomato or something like that. It's not beneficial. Like I say, the roots on this are really going to be down around 5 to 6 inches, them fibrous roots. So it really doesn't help to cover this plant up a lot. I'm hoping to get the top about even with the top of the ground. So I'm going to just set that right there. Now, hopefully all that loose soil is going to help that taproot go down and get to a lot of good nutrients. When I water it, you know, it's going to soften that soil up. And now that I've got all my manure and everything, you know, tilled into this soil, it's just going to be a constant feed. So as them roots spread out, it's always going to get something to eat. So it's a great way of doing it. It works a lot better than the hill method. If you've got clay soil, I really do recommend giving this a try. And so that right there is about all I'm going to do. If you want, you can kind of mound this up where the low spot is your plant, so that way when you water, the water stays there. Now the last step I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lot of hay on this. And the reason being is just like that dirt that I showed you at the start of the video, if I let the sun hit this, especially after a rain, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to get extremely hard. If you mulch it with a good amount of hay, it's not going to dry out as fast, so you won't have to water as much. It's going to protect, you know, the roots and everything, and it's going to help with the weeds. It's going to be a really good weed control. So guys, really try this out, because I had great success with this. Now for a beginner, I'm going to show you a couple things here that's going to help you out. So let's go over here. Okay, so when your plant is small like this, you don't want any blooms. And you can see I've been picking blooms off of this. Now you can also see I got a damaged you know, piece right here, and I'm just going to pull that off. All you're going to do is, the plant is just going to waste energy on this, and you do not want it trying to set fruit while it's still at this size, because you want all the energy to go into this plant to get nice and big. And so for a beginner, let your plant grow. I know it's tempting to it's tempting to, you know, try and get, you know, a zucchini as soon as possible. But trust me, you're going to get a lot more. Your plant's going to get a lot bigger if you just do this until it gets some size. Well, that's the video, and I hope it helps. And let me know if you try it. And, you know, it really did work for me. Well, I'll talk to you later. See ya.